Hey guys, it's Emac here. Today we're going to talk about lean startup, right? I'm going to share a story with you. It's going to be really fun and awesome. Keep watching. So back in year 2009, I started working on a project called LPR, License Plate Recognition. So back in 2009, 10 years ago, this was an awesome idea. It was very new to me and a lot of people. And at that time, I was studying, artificial intelligence, neural network, backpropagation, how to build multi-layer, perceptron, things like that. And at the same time, I was, teaching myself how to work with image processing applications like, OpenCV and MATLAB. Anyways, my goal was to build this software, to build a system that monitors the environment in a parking area, in a public area, in chemical manufacturing, in a commercial building that basically monitors the flow of the traffic. This can be utilized for a lot of applications, which wasn't wrong, the idea, and it's very common these days. But back in 2009, with the tools that we had, it was quite a big challenge. I thought this is a great idea. This is going to be the next winner. This is going to be the next awesome product, and I'm going to build this. I'm going to market it and sell it. Everyone wants this product, and it's going to be a big money maker for me. Well, I spent around maybe 6-7 months working on this project, and I ended up basically running this product on MATLAB and exported DLL file, imported into nice C# .NET application that had a nice GUI. It could basically recognize the object, the car that is approaching to camera or to the security gate, and it was taking the photo, it was clearing the photo, and basically the goal was to extract those numbers and convert them to data, which was big success for me at that time. So I was very happy with the result, 90% accuracy, and I had all the data set. I trained it neural network to be really accurate. Anyways, everything was great until to a point that I started talking to people. Hey, I have this awesome product and I want to sell it. So I started having different meetings, different phone calls, and unfortunately things did not go the way that I anticipated. It was a big challenge for me. Well, I invested a lot of time and money in this project, and it was a great experience for me as far as learning a little bit about AI and image processing and how to work on AI projects. It was very a good investment for me because I learned the business side of the technology, and I understood that technology is very important to learn, but of course it's not everything if you want to make a successful project. So I saw this book years ago, and it's called Lean Startup by Eric Ries, which I definitely recommend. If you have access to it, if you want to read it yourself, definitely by all means go for it, because it's a great read. And I think every entrepreneur in tech needs to read this book. The first thing in Lean Startup, when you read the book, you understand 5 principles that I want to introduce you to those principles and save you a lot of time. So the first one is we need to understand we are all software engineers, we're all entrepreneurs, right? We start working on product first, and then we go to the market. So think about it. We start from the product, and then we go to the market. Well, something is not right. I've experienced it. I told you my story. But this is how we wired. This is how our engineering mind works, because we think we have a great idea. This is the best idea. I own it. I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to make it a successful project. But unfortunately, in real life, things don't work exactly the way you think. And if you're not, running your own software company or your own business, if you're a student starting and building a project, if you are, working for a small or big company, you're an entrepreneur. And if you're starting a new project in a corporation, this is a startup, right? Startup doesn't mean that you have to go out and build your own business. You can be part of an organization and start a new project. That's a startup. So let's understand this concept first. Well, the next one is entrepreneurship is a management. Is the way you manage a new concept, and you basically take an idea to a market and test it to see if it works or not, right? This is the mindset that we need to learn. Well, we start with an hypothesis. We start with a theory, with an idea that, okay, I think this product, it's going to be an awesome project, and it's going to be the next big thing. But as an engineer, you always need to validate your knowledge, and there's no way to actually test this idea, without taking it to a real market. And this is the idea behind the lean startup. And Eric talks about that. Okay, if you have an idea, you have a hypothesis, and you start building something called MVP, minimum viable product, right? Something that has very little functionality, a little bit, a working version. It doesn't have the best GUI, or, it doesn't have the best features, but you build a core concept, right? You don't waste your time. You don't spend 6 months, 7 months building something that people don't want. Please, guys, don't do it, right? I have done it. So then once you build something very small, it can be as simple as a web page that only promotes or introduces your product and has a sign up list, so people can sign up and wait a few weeks or month until you introduce your final product. But the point here is, if we don't validate our knowledge, like the case that I told you I did in 2009, so you have to invest a lot of time and money and effort until you figure out nobody wants your product, right? So when we come up with an idea, the goal is to convert this idea to a sustainable business, to a sustainable money, cash machine, and a solid business. And the way we can do it is by only validating our knowledge. And how do we validate our knowledge? So it's quite actually interesting. So Eric talks about, you start with an hypothesis, you build something, and you take it to market. So this is a build phase, right? Then from build phase, you go to market, right? Now you're live, and you wait for feedback. So this is a very fast feedback loop that I'm about to share with you. So you start with the build, and then you measure things, how people react to your product, and then you learn from it, right? You learn what people want, what people don't want, and then you come back to the build loop, right? To the build point. So this feedback loop called build, measure, and learn. So you have to go through this process as fast as possible, maybe in a week or two, in every single cycle, right? Don't plan for the next 6 months, right? Because you are going to fail. You are going to end up, having something in your hands that people don't want. But in order to validate your knowledge, the only way is to actually build a very small piece, build a core part, and then take it to the market, measure the reaction, take the feedback, learn from it, and then come up with a decision. Do I want to continue this route? Also, looks like people don't want this feature of my product. Looks, maybe I need to just focus on other part of my application, other part of my product. So you constantly getting feedback from the market, from the real users, and they'll tell you by clicking or not clicking on your ad or your sign up button on your website that how you should be doing your next iteration. Toyota has one of the best models in manufacturing, right? And they have concepts called Kaizen, which is basically continuous improvement. It's the same cycle, right? And they believe you're not going to be perfect, and you have to iterate this as much as possible. I mean, for probably forever, right? And you make improvement on your product, and you basically provide value to the people that are actually using the product, right? So they work on very small batches. The reason small batches work really well is because you are only focused on a very small piece, and if something goes wrong, you can simply figure out what's wrong. If you start changing many things at the same time, you're not going to know which part is actually affecting your application or your product. So you start with an MVP, build a minimum viable product. Don't go to the final product. Start with something really small. Build your minimum viable product, and then take it to the market. Let it go live, right? If it's not complete, that's completely okay. You have a newborn, you have a small product, we have a small service that's doing something, right? and then let user make the decision. So users come back, some people click on it, some people sign up, some people don't. You test different ideas, but the point in this loop is to iterate this loop as fast as possible. Fail fast. If something is not right, let it fail as soon as possible, right? You know why? Because you can change it, you can pivot it. But when he talked about pivoting, it means basically restructuring your strategy, right? Let's say you have a website and you're promoting, I don't know, maybe a ticketing system, right? Your ticketing system, and you tell businesses, hey, this is the free system, you can sign up and you can use it for tracking your task or ticketing, or basically help your customer to have an online portal, right? Let's say something like this. And then a few months after, you realize people actually sign up and they want the mobile version of this application because it's very convenient. But you're spending time on basically working on a web UI, which is not that valuable for the end user. But people want you to work on your mobile interface. So what you need to do then, you need to understand, you need to measure what people want, come back to the drawing board and start building or improving your UI on a mobile application. So what I'm trying to tell you here, when you want to build something, when you want to start a new project, even if it's a very small project, always start with market. Market comes first, because market is going to pay your bills. Market is going to pay for your growth. If market doesn't want your product, it's just going to be a piece of technology that's going to be obsolete in a few months, right? Think about it. If you are only focused on technology, technology will be expired. It doesn't matter, right? Somebody's going to build something better than you. So what you need to do, you need to figure out what market wants. Learn from Bill Gates, right? He was actually a very smart marketer first, before software engineering. So he started working on the concept of how to sell this product, put a copy on every single machine in all people's computer, and then improve the product. And then we all know Windows used to have a lot of problems, still has a lot of problems. But as far as marketing and building a business around that core concept, Bill Gates did a fantastic, phenomenal job. So the story that we need to learn today is, guys, start with market and come back to the production, right? Do not start with the production. Don't wait for the perfect, awesome, the next big thing and then take it to the market. It doesn't work that way. You have to start with the core concept. Take it to the market, take it to the people, share your idea. Nobody's going to steal your idea. That idea is only important for you. You think it's going to be the successful product, and let the market, make the decision. And then once you have the MVP, minimum viable product, take it to the market, go live, go online, let people give you feedback, and then come back to the drawing board. So build, measure, learn. This is all you need to keep in mind from Eric Ries. And it's a great advice, because you can fail fast, you can learn from the market, and you can make improvement and make your product successful. If you're pivoting, it means you're restructuring, you're deciding to go a different route. If you are, getting the right feedback, hey, I'm on the right track, I don't need to change anything, I just need to keep improving on the things that I'm doing right now. So don't forget that you have to work on very small batches. Don't work on the big concepts. Take it apart, divide and conquer. Divide the things, work on smaller pieces, and then connect them together. Let them work together until your project is done. So this was the entire idea about Lean Startup. It's an awesome read. Definitely, if you have the time, I recommend you read this book, because there's a lot of more concept into it. But the entire point is, instead of spending time, wasting time, building something that people don't want, you have an hypothesis, but you need to validate your knowledge all the time. How do you validate the knowledge? With build, measure, learn technique, right? Build, measure, learn technique from Eric Ries. So I hope you like this video. Subscribe to my channel, like this video, don't forget it, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.